Welcome back. Chief Judicial Magistrate allowed an application of the state praying to make Anil Salgaonkar a party in the case of the grounded vessel River Princess. The ill-fated vessel was marooned off the Kandolin beach in 2001 and since then it has been lying there. Chief Judicial Magistrate Vandana Tendulkar, convinced with the evidence produced before her by the prosecution, indicated that Savode MLA Anil Salgaonkar was the managing director of the company, observed that the accused was responsible for the conduct of the business of his company. Earlier, the government had filed a complaint that vessel ran aground due to sheer negligence and lack of control over the vessel, and that it posed grave danger to the environment and the entire coastline from Sinkeri and Kalangut. The CJM further observed that the accused Anil Salgaonkar has not disputed that he was the managing director of the company at the relevant time. Under the Environment Protection Act 1986, if the offence is committed by the company, every person who at the time of offence was committed was directly in charge of or responsible is deemed to be guilty of the offence and shall be liable to be prosecuted and punished accordingly. The transporters' lobby in the state has received a shot in the arm with the Tourism Minister Mickey Pacheco throwing his weight behind their cause and demanding withdrawal of its decision to make speed governors mandatory. However, coincidentally, the transporters meeting only the Tourism Minister seemed to be timed perfectly to pressurize the government to drop the Transport Minister Pandurang Madkekar so as to accommodate Sudin Davlikar. After meeting with the transporters at his residence in Betalpati, Mickey termed the decision as a racket and promised the heavy vehicle owners that he would oppose installation of speed governors. Mickey, in a bid to embrace the government, disclosed that the issue was not discussed in the cabinet, but only a passing mention was made by the Transport Minister. He further said that it is not only heavy vehicles that cause road accidents and that all types of vehicles cause mishaps. He further went on to state that 40% of heavy vehicles plying on Goan roads are from the neighbouring states and wanted to know what the government would do about that. The Tourism Minister also questioned the rates charged for speed governors in Goa. Pacheco claimed that the equipment cost just Rs 4,500 in New Delhi and wanted to know how the rates have changed to 16,000 in Goa. Pacheco's support to the cause of the transport lobby was hailed by transporters who said that he has understood the issue from their perspective. Time for a short break here with Goa 365. Welcome back. Today is Valentine's Day, a special day in the life of couples. Almost everyone dreams of having a fairy tale type of life, like a beautiful princess meeting her Prince Charming in shining armor. He sweeps her off the crown, they fall madly in love, get married, and they live happily ever after. But what happens between the time they get married and they start growing old? We have a special couple, Brisio, a senior accounts manager at Italab, and Nivya, a retired government teacher. They tell us about their love story on this Valentine 39 years back, as members of Legion of Mary of Our Lady of Rosary Church at Navali. Their friendship blossomed into love, and 2 years later, they tied the knot that would keep them together for many, many years to come.
Year 1969, we are both members of a church organization called the Legion of Mary. We used to do a lot of social work there, and we used to meet very often. We used to have camps and things like that. So that's where I came to know her better. Like, there were so many other girls there, so I found her to be a bit more quieter, a bit more intellectual, sort of a bit more loving, caring. So I thought a lot, and then I decided that I should try to be friendly with her, with the idea of maybe settling down later. I asked her whether she would be interested in being friendly with me. She sort of knew perhaps that I would ask a question like that, but she was not ready to give me an answer. And she said, okay, I'll consult my people and let you know.
We were talking about he's so nice and the way he speaks, and we were very much fascinated. And I also had in my mind, like, it's nice to have a boy like that as a partner.
However, being the eldest son in the house, he had to shoulder certain responsibilities and it was not so smooth for him to plunge into a marriage.